Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the fascinating stories behind the coins we use every day. In today's video we are taking a deep look at a coin that has stirred up a lot of curiosity online, the Washington quarter from 1998 minted in Denver. You may have seen videos or posts claiming that this ordinary quarter could be worth up to $1.4 million. But what is real and what is rumor? In this video we will explore the history of this coin, why collectors care about it, how coin values are truly determined, and whether that million-dollar claim has any foundation in reality. Opening story: imagine sorting through a drawer of coins you've had for years and finding one that might change your life. That is the dream that keeps people searching through change, estate sales, and old coin collections. The 1998 Washington quarter has become part of that treasure hunt conversation, fueled by sensational titles and online speculation. But before we dive into the idea of a multi-million-dollar value, let's take a step back and understand the origins and history of this coin. The history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became popular with the public. The obverse features a dignified portrait of George Washington, the nation's first president, and the reverse originally featured an eagle with outstretched wings. For decades the design remained consistent, and the quarter was a mainstay of everyday U.S. currency. In 1999 the U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, which changed the reverse designs to honor each of the 50 states. But in 1998 the quarter still carried the classic eagle reverse design, and millions were struck for circulation. The 1998 quarter. In context, the 1998 Washington quarter was minted as the Denver facility, which is indicated by a small letter D under the date. These coins were produced in large numbers for regular daily use. Today, most of these quarters have been spent, saved in jars, or turned into coin collections. In 1998 the composition of the quarter was the traditional copper-nickel clad. These coins have a pure copper core sandwiched between layers of copper-nickel. The combination gives the coin durability and a distinctive silvery appearance. Unlike rare coins from early American history or limited mintage issues, the 1998 Washington quarter was a typical circulation strike. Millions were made and millions entered everyday commerce. The $1.4 million rumor. Now let's address the reason many viewers clicked on this video. The claim that a 1998 Washington quarter might be worth $1.4 million. That kind of headline grabs attention, and it is exactly what spreads quickly on social media and video platforms. But how accurate is that claim? The truth is that there is no widely documented record from major coin grading services or reputable auction houses showing a standard 1998 quarter selling for $1.4 million. Most of this sensational value claims appear on websites or in videos that rely on rumor, misunderstanding, or exaggerated storytelling rather than verified market data. This does not mean coins cannot be valuable. It means we need to look at how coin values are actually established in the collector market. Coin grading and condition. One of the most important factors determining a coin's value is its condition. Coins are evaluated on a detailed grading scale that assesses how much wear they have, the sharpness of detail, and their overall eye appeal. Uncirculated coins that have never been used can be graded in the mint state range, and higher grades indicate better preservation and typically higher value. For example, a coin graded MS-60 is uncirculated but may show contact marks or muted luster. A coin graded MS-65 or higher is considered a high-quality uncirculated piece with strong visual appeal. The very best coins in top grades are rare because most coins intended for circulation are handled and show wear. Most 1998 Washington quarters found in everyday change are worn and have minimal collector value beyond their face value or a small premium. Even uncirculated examples in high grades are relatively common compared to coins from earlier eras or limited mintages. Rare varieties and error coins. Another reason that rumors about high-valued coins spread is the existence of error coins and rare varieties. When coins are struck incorrectly, They can show unusual features such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, missing elements, or other anomalies. Some error coins are highly collectible and can command significant premiums if they are rare, dramatic, and well documented. Collectors often seek out these errors because they are visually interesting and unusual. However, even valuable error coins typically sell for prices based on documented auction results, and none of the known 1998D Washington quarter varieties have been proven to consistently bring seven-figure prices. Real market values and auction records. When discussing coin values, the most reliable information comes from actual auction results and documented sales through reputable houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers. These results show what real collectors are willing to pay under competitive bidding conditions. For the 1998D Washington quarter, the highest documented sale prices are generally for high-grade uncirculated examples or error pieces that attract collector interest. Those coins may bring hundreds to a few $1,000s depending on condition and rarity, but documented sales do not support the idea of a $1.4 million value for a typical example. WHY $1 million claims persist. So why do these sensational claims continue to flourish? Part of it is the allure of a good treasure story. The idea that something ordinary could be hiding extraordinary value is irresistible. Part of it is the nature of online content, where dramatic titles and eye-catching numbers attract clicks and engagement. While that can be entertaining, it also leads to misconceptions about real coin values. Valuing your OWN coin. If you think you might have a valuable 1998D Washington quarter, here are some tips for evaluating it. First, examine the coin's condition. Does it have sharp detail, original luster, and minimal wear? Coins with strong eye appeal attract more interest from serious collectors. Next, look for unusual features or anomalies that could indicate a recognized error or variety. Such characteristics can add value if they are well documented and rare. If you believe your coin may be rare or in exceptional condition, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. Grading authenticates the coin and assigns it a standardized condition grade, making it easier to establish its value in the market. The real value of coin collecting. The true value of coin collecting goes far beyond chasing sensational dollar figures. It is about learning history, discovering how coins were made, appreciating design, and connecting with others who share the same passion. Every coin tells a story, and even the most common pieces reflect the everyday life of the time they circulated. Quarters like the 1998D Washington connect us to a specific era of American life, the economy of the late 20th century, and the millions of hands through which they passed. That connection is part of the real treasure of coin collecting. Conclusion. So what is the bottom line about the 1998D Washington quarter? It is a widely produced coin with a long history and plenty of collector interest. While uncirculated high-grade examples and certain error coins can carry premiums, the idea that a typical 1998D quarter is worth $1.4 million is a myth not supported by verified market evidence. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1998D Washington quarter, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin story. Let us know in the comments what coin you want us to explore next. Happy collecting, and may your next find be a treasure. If you want suggested visuals, chapter markers, or a shorter version for social media, I can help with that too. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the real history and true market value of coins that everyday people might have in their pockets. LA Coins World. Today's video is all about the Washington quarter from 1981 minted at Denver. You may have seen dramatic claims online that this coin could be worth up to $1.3 million. In this video we're going to explore the full story behind this quarter, why people talk about it so much, what makes it collectible, and what its actual value looks like in the real world of coin collecting. Opening story. Picture this. You're sorting through old coins you found in a drawer or jar and you stumble on a Washington quarter from 1981 with a Denver mint mark. Then you hear a video say it could be worth over $1 million. That sounds amazing, But is it really true? Let's break it down so you know what to look for and what's real versus what's rumor. A brief history of the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter was first issued in 1932 to mark the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the portrait of Washington replaced the earlier standing Liberty Quarter and quickly became popular with the public. For decades the classic design remained virtually unchanged, with Washington on the obverse and a heraldic eagle on the reverse. In 1981 the U.S. Mint was still producing the traditional Washington Quarter with this classic eagle reverse design just before the launch of the 50-state quarters program that began in 1999. The 1981 quarter is made of a copper nickel-clad composition, a blend that was introduced in 1965 after the Mint stopped using silver in circulating quarters. This copper-nickel sandwich gives the coin its familiar silvery color and durability for everyday use. The Denver Mint mark, the small letter D on the obverse, tells us this specific piece was struck at the Denver Mint alongside hundreds of millions of its siblings. Mintage and circulation. The 1981 Washington Quarter was one of several quarters produced that year for general circulation, with over 575 million coins struck at Denver alone. Because so many were made and entered circulation, these coins are generally considered common among collectors. Most of these ended up in daily commerce, passed from hand to hand for decades, and today many still remain in pocket change or coin collections around the world. The Internet claim, $1.3 million value. Now let's talk about the claim that a 1981 Washington Quarter could be worth as much as $1.3 million. Sensational titles like that get attention and often go viral. But the reality is quite different. There is no widely verified auction record from major coin houses or professional grading services showing a standard 1981 quarter selling for 7 figures. Most of the coins of this year sell for only modest premiums over face value unless they have traits that make them collectible in specific ways. Online hype often stems from misunderstanding or exaggerated storytelling rather than documented sales history. How coin values are determined. Coins are not priced in a vacuum. Their market value depends on key factors like scarcity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. One of the biggest drivers of coin value is grading. Professional grading services evaluate coins on a scale that rates how well preserved they are. Mint state grades like MS65 or higher mean the coin has not been in circulation and retains strong original details. The higher the grade, generally the more interest from collectors and the higher the price at auction. Most 1981 quarters found in circulation have wear and are worth face value or just a small premium. Even high-quality uncirculated examples typically sell in ranges far below sensational million-dollar claims. Real previous auction data shows certified high-grade 1981 quarters selling for values like a few $100s depending on grade and market conditions. These documented sales give the clearest picture of real value and what collectors actually pay. Rare varieties and error coins. That said, there are ways certain coins from common years become more valuable. Error coins and rare mint varieties can attract collector interest. Examples can include double die strikes, off-center strikes, planchet errors, or other unusual characteristics that occurred during the minting process. Some of these error coins have sold for notable amounts, but even dramatic error strikes from the 1980s rarely reach anything close to multi-million-dollar values. Coins with unusual or dramatic errors can be exciting to find, and collectors will pay premiums for verified errors, but these are still bound by real auction results, not exaggerated speculation. Known market values and auction records. The most reliable way to know what a coin is worth is to look at documented sales from reputable auction houses or price guides from trusted sources. Coins in average circulated condition are generally worth their face value of 25 cents. Uncirculated or certified coins in better condition can command higher prices, often ranging from a few dollars up to a few $100s for the very best examples. Some ringside sales for high-grade or error pieces have achieved values in the low thousands. but none support the notion of a typical 1981D quarter reaching $1.3 million. WHY $1 million rumors spread. So why do so many people believe that a common coin could be worth seven figures? Part of it is human nature. Treasure stories are exciting, and the idea that a humble coin could lead to instant wealth is irresistible. Part of it is the nature of online content creation, where eye-catching claims get more views and shares, regardless of whether they are grounded in verified facts. Without consulting real price guides or auction results, it's easy for misinformation to spread. How to assess your OWN coin? If you think you might have a valuable 1981D quarter, start by checking its condition. Look for sharp detail on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Coins with clear original luster and minimal marks tend to attract more collector interest. Next, research whether your coin has any unusual characteristics or errors that might make it stand out. If you believe your coin could be rare or in exceptional condition, consider having it evaluated by a professional grading service. Grading will authenticate the coin and assign a standardized condition score that helps determine its market value. The real treasure in coin collecting. The true value of coin collecting goes far beyond attaching a sensational price tag. It's about learning history, understanding minting processes, and appreciating the artistry and stories behind each piece. Every coin offers a window into the past, into the economy and culture of the time when it was made and used. The 1981D Washington quarter may not be worth millions in most cases, but it is still a fascinating piece of American coinage with its own place in numismatic history. Collectors enjoy these coins for their role in everyday life, the subtle variations that make each die unique, and the thrill of finding quality pieces that stand the test of time. Conclusion. So what is the bottom line about the 1981D Washington quarter? It is a widely produced coin with a fascinating history and steady collector interest. While uncirculated high-grade examples and some rare varieties attract premiums, the idea that the standard example from this year is worth $1.3 million is a myth unsupported by real auction evidence. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1981D Washington quarter, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another fascinating coin story. Let me know in the comments what coin you want us to explore next. Happy collecting, and may you uncover treasures you never expected. If you want visual ideas, chapter timestamps, or a shorter social media version of this script, I can help with that too. Have you ever stopped to look at a quarter from the late 1970s and wondered if it could be worth a life-changing amount of money? Rarest coins. Today we are taking a deep dive into the 1979D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that has sparked massive attention online, with some claims saying it could be worth as much as $1.6 million. Is that true? Or is it another exaggerated story spreading across the internet? Let's uncover the real history and value of this coin. Let's begin with the background. The Washington quarter was first released in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin quickly became a staple of American currency. For decades, the quarter featured Washington's portrait on the front and a strong eagle on the reverse, symbolizing national pride and strength. By the time 1979 arrived, the quarter was well into the modern era. Since 1965, quarters were no longer made of silver and instead were struck using a copper core layered with copper nickel. The 1979D quarter follows this same composition and represents everyday American money during a time of economic change and inflation in the United States. Now let's focus on the Denver Mint. The 1979D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint and can be identified by the small D mint mark on the front of the coin, just behind Washington's ponytail. During this year, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters, meaning most examples are extremely common today. Because of this high production, the vast majority of 1979D quarters found in circulation are worth only their face value of 25 cents. Even coins in uncirculated condition usually sell for only a small premium, often just a few dollars. So why do people talk about values as high as $1.6 million? The answer lies in condition, extreme rarity, and mint errors. Coin collecting is not just about how old a coin is. It is about how rare it is in a particular condition. A worn 1979 D quarter is common, but a coin preserved in nearly perfect mint state condition is much harder to find. Coins graded MS67 or higher are extremely scarce for this year and mint, and these high-grade examples can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about mint errors, because this is where serious money can enter the conversation. Some 1979 D quarters were struck with errors such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped plan case, missing cloud layers, or misaligned dies. Genuine mint errors that occurred during the manufacturing process and are clearly visible can significantly increase a coin's value, especially when authenticated by a professional grading service. Collectors are especially interested in dramatic errors that are easy to see and difficult to fake. These coins represent mistakes that slipped through quality control and made it into circulation, making them far rarer than normal coins. Now let's address the $1.6 million claim directly. There is no verified auction record showing a 1979 D Washington quarter selling for $1.6 million. Claims like this usually come from misleading online listings, misinterpretations of error coins, or exaggerated stories designed to attract attention. In the numismatic world, million-dollar coins are almost always extremely rare early American issues, gold coins, or unique historical errors with extensive documentation. That does not mean valuable 1979 D quarters do not exist. A perfectly preserved example with a rare and dramatic mint error, professionally graded and authenticated, could still be worth a substantial amount of money. However, without certification from a recognized grading service, any claim of $1 million value should be viewed with caution. So what should you do if you find a 1979 D quarter? First, inspect the coin carefully under strong lighting and magnification. Look for doubling in the lettering or numbers, unusual thickness, missing metal layers, or off-center designs. Second, never clean the coin, as cleaning can permanently reduce its value. Third, if the coin appears unusual or is in exceptional condition, consider submitting it to a professional grading service for authentication. In conclusion, the 1979 D Washington quarter is a fascinating piece of modern U.S. coinage history. While most examples are worth only face value, high-grade coins and genuine mint errors can be worth far more. Claims of a $1.6 million price tag are not supported by confirmed public sales, but the excitement surrounding these rumors keeps collectors searching their change every day. So the next time you receive a quarter in your pocket change, take a closer look. You may not find $1 million coin, but you could be holding a small piece of American history that tells a much bigger story. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below for more coin value and history videos. Have you ever wondered if a quarter from your pocket could be worth more than a luxury car? Today we are exploring the 1990 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that has sparked online excitement with some claims suggesting it could be worth as much as $1.5 million. But is that really true, or is it just another internet myth? Let's dive into the history, the value, and the truth behind this coin. Let's start with the story behind the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first released in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin quickly became one of the most recognizable and long-running coins in U.S. history. Washington's portrait appears on the front, while a bald eagle has traditionally adorned the back. For decades, Americans carried this coin in their pockets as part of everyday life. By 1990, the Washington quarter had been in circulation for almost 60 years. Since 1965, quarters were no longer made of silver and instead used a copper core with copper-nickel outer layers. The 1990 D quarter follows this same modern composition and represents ordinary American currency from the early 1990s. A time of economic stability and growth. Now let's focus on the Denver Mint. The 1990 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by a small D mint mark located near Washington's ponytail. During this year, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters, which makes most 1990D quarters very common today. Because of this high production, the vast majority of those coins found in circulation are worth only their face value of 25 cents. So why do some people claim this coin could be worth $1.5 million? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and mint errors. Coin collecting is not just about age. It is about how rare a coin is in a particular condition. A circulated 1990D quarter is very common and worth only face value. But coins that remain in near-perfect, uncirculated condition can be extremely rare. Collectors use a grading system from 1 to 70, and coins graded MS67 or higher are particularly sought after. These coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on eye appeal and preservation. Mint errors are another factor that can increase a coin's value. Some 1990D quarters were struck with errors such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped plan case, or missing layers. Genuine mint errors that occur during the production process and are clearly visible can significantly increase a coin's value, especially if the coin has been professionally authenticated by a recognized grading service. Collectors are especially interested in coins with dramatic errors that are easy to see and difficult to replicate. Now let's address the $1.5 million claim. There is no confirmed auction record showing a 1990D Washington quarter selling for $1.5 million. Most of these claims online are misleading or based on unverified reports. In the world of coin collecting, $1 million coins are almost always extremely rare early American coins, gold coins, or unique historical errors with strong documentation. The 1990D quarter does not fall into these categories under normal circumstances. That does not mean valuable coins do not exist. A 1990D quarter in perfect condition with the rare, dramatic mint error that has been professionally graded and authenticated could still be worth a substantial amount of money. However, without certification from a trusted grading service, any claim of $1 million value should be viewed with caution. So what should you do if you find a 1990D quarter? First, inspect the coin carefully under strong light and magnification. Look for doubling in letters or numbers, unusual thickness, missing metal layers, or off-center designs. Second, never clean the coin, as cleaning can permanently reduce its value. Third, if the coin appears unusual or exceptionally well preserved, consider submitting it to a professional grading service for authentication. In conclusion, the 1990D Washington quarter is a piece of modern American coinage history. While most examples are worth only face value, high-grade coins and genuine mint errors can be worth far more. Claims of a $1.5 million price tag are not supported by verified sales, but the excitement surrounding these rumors keeps collectors checking their change every day. The next time you receive a quarter, take a closer look. You may not find a $1 million coin, but you could be holding a small piece of history in your hand. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below for more videos about rare coins and their fascinating stories. I can also create a version specifically optimized for a 10-minute YouTube script, with hooks every 30 to 60 seconds and suggested visuals to keep viewers engaged throughout. Do you want me to do that next? Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the stories behind coins that spark curiosity, mystery, and sometimes even rumors of hidden treasure. LA Coins World. Today we're exploring one of the most talked about quarters in coin collecting circles, the Washington quarter from 1992 minted in Denver. You may have seen videos or posts online claiming that this ordinary quarter could be worth as much as $1.5 million. But how much of that is rumor and how much is fact? In this video we're going to explore the history of this coin, why collectors pay attention to it, how coin values are truly determined, and what the real market looks like for a coin like this. Opening story. Imagine finding a quarter in your pocket or your change jar that could be worth more than your car. That idea has fascinated collectors and treasure hunters for years, and stories like that spread quickly online. The 1992 AD Washington quarter is one of the coins that sometimes gets caught up in these sensational claims. But before we talk about value speculation, let's go back in time and understand where this coin came from and what makes it interesting. History of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter first appeared in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a dignified portrait of the nation's first president, while the reverse originally displayed a heraldic eagle. The design was a departure from earlier quarter designs and quickly became popular with the public. For decades the Washington quarter remained essentially the same, becoming one of the most familiar coins in American currency. In 1965 the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the quarter from 90% silver to a copper nickel-clad structure to reduce costs. This new composition continued for decades and was still being used in 1992. In 1992 the Denver Mint produced millions of Washington quarters for everyday circulation. The Denver Mint mark, a small letter D on the coin's obverse just below the date, identifies these pieces. Unlike special collectible issues, these coins were made for use in commerce, passing through countless hands in everyday transactions. The 1992 AD quarter and context. The 1992 AD Washington quarter is a coin that you could have easily found in change, used to buy groceries, parking meters, vending machines, and more. Millions were struck, and many were spent almost immediately. Because of their high mintage and wide distribution, these coins were not considered rare when they were first produced. These quarters are composed of a copper-nickel outer layer bonded to a pure copper core. This combination gives the coin its familiar silvery appearance and durability for everyday use. Pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters from this era are part of a large group of circulation coins that many collectors refer to as modern commons. The $1.5 million claim. Now let's get to the reason many people click on videos like this. The claim that the standard 1992 AD Washington quarter could be worth $1.5 million. That sounds incredible, but it's important to separate sensational internet hype from real-world collector value. The truth is that there is no widely documented record from professional coin grading services or major auction houses showing a standard 1992 AD quarter selling for 7 figures. The idea that an ordinary circulation strike from this year is worth $1.5 million is not supported by verified sales data or collector market evidence. That does not mean coins cannot be valuable. It simply means we have to look at how value is actually established in the numismatic world. How coin values are determined. Collectors and dealers determine a coin's value based on several key factors: rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. One of the most important factors is condition, which is assessed through a grading scale that measures wear, luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. Coins that remain uncirculated and show no signs of wear receive grades in the mint state range. These coins often have a protective sheen, crisp details, and minimal marks. A coin graded at the high end of the mint state scale can be significantly more valuable than a worn example. For this quarter, most 1992 AD pieces you find in change are worn and have little collector premium above face value. Even well-preserved uncirculated coins typically sell for modest amounts compared to sensational claims. Real market sales show that most high-quality examples from this year bring prices in the range of a few dollars to a few $100s depending on grade. That is a far cry from 7-figure valuations. Rare varieties and error coins. Another reason people talk about high-value coins is error coins and rare varieties. When coins are struck incorrectly, they may display unusual characteristics, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, missing elements, or other striking anomalies. Some error coins are highly desirable to collectors and can sell for premium prices when authenticated and graded. However, even the most dramatic error coins from modern circulation issues seldom command 7-figure prices. Collectors prize rare and dramatic errors, but the highest values still depend on rarity, documentation, and actual auction records. If a coin from 1992 had a truly unique and dramatic error that was known to be extremely rare, it might sell for significant money. But again, No ordinary 1992 AD Washington quarter without a verified, dramatic error has been documented to sell for $1.5 million. Real auction records and market values. When we talk about what a coin is worth, the best evidence comes from actual auction results and documented sales. Reputable houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and other major numismatic firms publish their sale prices so collectors and researchers can see what similar coins have brought under competitive bidding. For the 1992 AD Washington quarter, documented sales focus on coins graded by professional services. These sales show that even high-grade uncirculated examples typically trade well below sensational millions. Rare certified examples may attract collector interest, but the top market prices reflect real supply and demand dynamics rather than exaggerated claims. Why the million-dollar rumors persist? So why do stories about million-dollar coins continue to circulate at 8? Part of it is human nature. People want to believe they could own a hidden treasure. The idea that something as small and common as a quarter could suddenly be worth more than a car is irresistible. Sensational headlines get attention and views, even when they are not grounded in verified facts. Content creators sometimes use dramatic value claims to attract clicks, and before long those stories spread widely across platforms. Without checking reliable numismatic references, it's easy for misinformation to grow into accepted rumor. How to assess your OWN coin? If you think you might have a valuable 1992 AD Washington quarter, here's how to start evaluating it. First, look at the condition. Is the coin sharp with strong detail and original luster, or is it worn and dull from circulation? Coins with stronger details and minimal wear are more collectible. Next, check for any unusual features. Does the coin show signs of doubling, off-center strike, or other anomalies? If you see something that looks unusual, compare it to known error types and trusted numismatic guides. If you believe you have something rare or special, consider having it professionally graded. Professional grading authenticates and evaluates the coin's condition, which helps establish its value on the collector market. The real value of coin collecting. The true joy of coin collecting is not just chasing sensational price tags. It's about learning history, appreciating craftsmanship, and connecting with a hobby that spans generations. Every coin has a story, and even the most common pieces reflect the time and economy in which they were made. Coins like the 1992 AD Washington quarter connect us with everyday life in late 20th century America. They circulated through everyday transactions, witnessed decades of change, and became part of countless stories. That connection is part of the real treasure of coin collecting. Conclusion. So what is the bottom line about the 1992 AD Washington quarter? It is a coin with a long history and steady collector interest. Some high-grade uncirculated examples and certain rare varieties may be worth more than their face value, but the idea that the standard 1992 AD quarter is worth $1.5 million is a myth not supported by documented sales. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1992 AD Washington quarter, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another fascinating coin story. Tell us in the comments what coin you want us to explore next. Happy collecting, and may you uncover treasures beyond your wildest expectations. If you want visual suggestions, chapter timestamps, or a shorter social media version, I can help with that too.